foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the elders, the apostles, and great millstone. Salutations to you, accurate and upholding testimony of Yahushua, truth and sincerity. Great millstone Atlanta, here in the spirit of prophecy, confessing the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, so let's deal with prophecy. Micah, the 4th chapter.
All right, this is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established.
Now, the term mountain is a representation of a nation. The term mountain represents a large government. That's what the word mountain represents. When you read in the scriptures when it says God, all right, which we know God, the ancient people of God were Japhites, but when you read the prophetic scriptures, it's talking about Russia. That word God means mountain. Why? Because Russia is a huge government, so the name of it is God. You know? So that's just a brief history behind that. But the point being, the term mountain is a representation of nation. To prove that, could we get Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, at the top. That's fine. Okay.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Continuing on, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days.
This is also in the last days, just as it is written in the book of Micah.
Continuing on, that the mountain of the Lord's house.
That the mountain of the Lord's house. Does a physical house have a mountain? What's being spoken of? What is this talking about? It's talking about Judah and Jerusalem. As it said at verse 1, concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Which Judah and Jerusalem is speaking of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right? Now, Judah and Jerusalem is the capital of the Israelites. All right? So when it says Judah and Jerusalem, it's speaking of the whole nation. Go ahead.
Continuing on, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established.
Which the mountain of the Lord's house starts with Yahushua. Right? Because he's the king of Jerusalem. He's the king of peace. He's the king of Judea. He's the king of Judah. He's the king of the entire earth. You know? Go ahead.
In the top of the mountains, it shall be exalted above the hills.
It said a mountain is going to be established at the top of other mountains. We know this isn't talking about physical mountains. This is talking about Judah and Jerusalem. It says it in verse 1. Right? So the mountains, government, people, that's what we call in the Greek, John the 3rd chapter 16 verse, the world. That's the world, which in that context, in John the 3rd chapter, the 16th verse, the word world is cosmos, which means harmonious arrangement or government. Now, the word world can have different meanings, such as in Isaiah the 45th chapter, the 17th verse, it says, Israel should be saved with the everlasting salvation. You should not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end, that's actually talking about the age. That's talking about our perpetual age of rulership of the world. To prove that, can we get Daniel, the 7th chapter, hold it down, Daniel, the 7th chapter, and the 18th verse. Even though both of them are the term world, one world is an age, one world is a government, a harmonious arrangement.
Yeah.
All right, a group of people. And also in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, in the 9th verse, that's also speaking of an age of a world. The world in the context of an age, where it says Esau is the end of the world, meaning Esau is the end of this age, this period. And Jacob, because it's the beginning of the follower, which is the world to follow, which is the same word in Isaiah the 45th chapter in the 17th verse. Can you get Daniel the 7th chapter? Go ahead.
This is Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
It says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Now, who are the saints? The saints are speaking of the Israelites. Right? The word saint goes back to the Hebrew word kodash or kodawash, which means holy or separate. Now, when you go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter and the 6th verse, the Lord proclaims to us through his servant Moses, who also was an Israelite of the tribe of Levi. The Lord told Yahweh, which is his name, he told our nation, our people, the Israelites, he said, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Now that same word holy is kodash, which is the same word for saint.
Just to back up your point. This is Psalms chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
That's pretty plain. He said he exalted the horn, which the word horn represents strength of his people. And who is the strength of his people? The Messiah. Yahweh Shai. He's our strength, you know, and the Lord exalted Yahweh Shai. So guess what? We can also be joint heirs with him. All right, it says even the children of Israel. Now, in the Old English, when you hear the word even, or it means something such as namely or specifically. So if you which is.
Yeah.
So if it says even the children of Israel, what it's saying is specifically which is the children of Israel. It's showing you that it's talking about what it's about to say. Like the next word, if it says even, that next word is what it was actually directly talking about.
Right.
You know. Can you continue with Daniel when you finish with Psalms?
Yeah, I'm finishing off, and I just want to get in the NIV for you.
Okay, go on.
This is Psalms chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. I just want to get NIV for you.
He said he exalted the horn of his saints. And that's going to follow, I'm going to let you do that. And that's going to follow up perfectly when, remember that, it said exalted the horn of his saints. Remember what the brother also read, that he said that the mountain of the Lord will be put above the other mountains, meaning the other governments. Now remember that when we go back to Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. Remember that, because Deuteronomy the 7th chapter is also going to match up with what we've been saying. Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 148 and 14 in NIV. It says, and he has raised up for his people a horn, the praise of all his faithful servants of Israel, the people close to his heart. Praise the Lord.
Yep. You know, praise Yahweh by Shema. Now, can you finish in Daniel? Matter of fact, go finish, so we don't pass by it. Go finish Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, and the 6th verse. Did you ever start that?
I think the brother started.
Go ahead.
I got it right over.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 7th chapter and the 6th verse. Let's read through that, and then we go to Daniel, and then we can finish, I believe we're in Micah.
All right, this is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power.
Showing you who are the saints, the Israelites. He already proved it in the book of Psalms. What was that, 118?
148.
148 and 18, correct?
14.
And 14. 148 and 14. All right. And we're here in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, and the 6th verse. And it said what?
For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power.
Right.
The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
He said unto himself. And he said that we are a chosen people. We're a peculiar people. We're a special people. You know, like they say, well, he's the chosen one. Well, that's talking about the Israelites. If you want to talk about the, the big picture, who's the chosen one of God? The Israelites, starting with Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
It says, above all people.
Above all who?
People.
Above all people. So that makes sense when it talks about the mountain being above other mountains. The people of Israel being above all other people. Read that again. Sorry.
It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord chose the Israelites to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. This is not us showing hate. This is not us saying that we're superior. No, it's not because we're superior. It's because the Lord loved us. It tells you that. It's not because we're greater in number than you, which at this point we are, because he multiplied us as the sand of the heaven. But that's not what makes us better than you. What makes us better than you is because the Lord loved us. Go ahead.
You want me to continue on that?
Go to Daniel. You want something to bring out right now?
Oh, he go ahead.
Yeah, go finish that.
All right, now this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom.
So the Israelites of the Most High, the Israelites, the servants of Yahweh Shemel are going to take the kingdom. All right, the Malakwa. Well, that's in the Lord's Prayer. All right, which it says, "Thy kingdom." You know, at the latter part of the Lord's Prayer is the kingdom is Yahweh by Shemel. All right, and so we're going to take this kingdom. That's talking about the dominion and the rulership of the earth. Right, and we're not going to do this through carnal means, right? Even though it does say we're going to take it, but we can't take credit for ourselves. Really, it's the Lord going to do it for us. And yeah, He's going to use us, but it's spiritual. We're not going to, it's spiritual, you know.
And the scripture tells us that things that we do know that things that which do appear made by things that appear not.
It's the spirit, like the brother said, we're going to take down the place by spiritual means. But, hey, it's going to play out physically. But it was spiritual, through faith, that these things happen, right? Because in that day, man, ain't nobody gonna, when the lasers be shot off, ain't nobody gonna say, oh, that was carnal. Nah, that was a spiritual entity that done that unto you. Then you're gonna know, hey, yo, the invisible actually controls the physical realm. These things that we can lay our eyes upon is controlled by the all-seeing power, man, Yahweh.
Yeah, we waiting on the Lord, you know. We're not taking power and jurisdiction in our own hand. We pay our taxes. You know, we understand, you know, the Lord gave Esau, Edom, rulership and power over the earth. But we also understand that he's about to turn this kingdom into powder. We also understand that your army is going to have to go over to the Middle East and die. You know, and we are going to get spiritual powers. What? Yeah, the scripture says the saints of the Most High are going to take the kingdom. You know? Continue to read that, and then we're going to get what you got.
All right, this is back over in Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. I'll read back. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever.
And possess the kingdom. So right now in America, who possesses America? Esau and Edom. They tried to pull up some bullshit ass stat sheet about how many people making who making more money in America. The Edomites don't rule America. Esau rule America. And Esau will remind them Edomites if he got to. Right. Edom don't run this shit. Esau runs America. Them niggas are living in apartments.
Yeah, right.
Condos. Yeah. Don't get it fucked up. You got Edomites that might make fucking 60, 70, 50,000 a year, but they living off of good ass land from family, from generations. Don't get it fucked up. Esau run this shit. You know? But the Heavenly Father is going to transition this kingdom into the Israelites. But not America, because America is going to be destroyed by thermal missiles. The kingdom is the entire planet Earth. It's the rulership over the planet Earth. You know? Go ahead and bring your precept out, brother. Oh, did you finish that? Yeah, let's finish this, and then we'll get your
and
precept.
Possess the kingdom forever, even, and because the brother went into the even forever and ever.
So what Daniel was making clear is like, see, they're gonna rule it forever, but what I want you to understand is it's actually forever and ever.
Yeah.
That it's no end, because the term forever could be used loosely sometimes. You know? It's like, nah, this is not Lucy. No, this is literal.
Yeah, and like how Esau used that term of a life sentence. Depends on where you at in America. A life sentence in Alabama is 25 years. But if they say life in a day, you ain't getting out, man. Like you actually there for the duration of your life, man. Yeah. But just a life sentence, like you got 25.
So no other kingdom or no other ethnic group of people are going to take dominion after Yahweh Shah established his kingdom with his elect government, which is the world of Deuteronomy, the 3rd chapter, 16th verse. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Okay, can I read it again? This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. So we understand that the Heavenly Father is the one that's in complete control, okay, that sets up these leaders, these kings, okay, continuing on. And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. And who's one that's profitable? Yahweh Shah, okay, and the elect being the governing body. Okay, very soon, Esau, Edom will be removed from power, and we know that Yahweh Shah will establish his kingdom on earth in righteousness, okay, which is also going to be our kingdom, man. Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number, man. We're going to be joint heirs with our Lord Yahweh Shah.
All right, so go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, in the 31st verse. Yeah, start at the beginning.
God, this is Daniel 2 and 31. Thou, O king, thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image whose brightness was excellent.
Yes, which his brightness represents the Viziers. It was excellent because these were great empires. This image was an image of the greatest empires that the earth has ever seen. So it was excellent. They were magnificent. The Medo-Persian Empire was excellent. That thing from Ethiopia to India, the Babylonian Empire, it was vast and it was rich and abundant. That's why the head was of gold. Man, the Babylonians were rich, man. You know?
Dairy.
You know? Go ahead.
The big city that is 300.
Yeah, 300.
Yep, absolutely. 300 with the Medo-Persian Empire. You saw the vastness of their empire, man. You really just got a snippet of it. You really just got a snippet. Go ahead.
This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Was that the Achaemenid dynasty, I believe? Persian, the Xerxes, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, bro.
This image's head was of fine gold.
Right.
And it says his breast and his arms of silver, his belly.
But you'll notice each different part of the body, as the vision is being relayed, are inferior metals. Inferior, but what it loses inferior in it being an inferior metal, it actually gains its strength. You know, because the Babylonian Empire could not defeat the ancient Roman Empire on the battlefield. You know, the ancient Romans were not as rich and robust as far as their civilization as the ancient Babylonians, but their military might was more strong. You know, of course, through dispensation of time, tactics have been, refined, so on and so forth. But also, Esau, Edom, which are the Romans were descendants of Esau, Edom, they were blessed with the sword, which iron coincides with the sword.
Like Esau, when you go into the Roman history, Esau, his manipulation of iron was better than any civilization that came before him. When it came to artifice and weapons of warfare, nobody could touch Esau when it came to Africa, when it came to Africa. Like, it was so funny, Esau was known for his knowledge of how to manipulate iron and keep the greatest use out of it.
That's how we know that we need Lord, that we need Yahweh Shah to survive. Because, in actuality, Esau, he has an upper edge on us from the military perspective. One, because he's more organized. Two, because the Lord gave him that blessing. He gave him the blessing of the sword. But he gave us the blessing of the Spirit. And the Spirit ultimately is going to overcome the flesh. Yeah. Continue to read.
It says, his legs, it says his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces.
He smote the image on his feet. Remember that, which was made of iron and clay. Like, continue to read.
It says, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer's threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them.
Now read that part from the top.
Okay. You say it from the image?
Yeah, from the image. Just so I can break it down.
Okay. Just start. Oh, from the image. The head. This is Deuteronomy 2 and 32.
Oh, dang.
Oh, Daniel, a lot. Daniel's 2 and 32. This image's head was of fine gold.
Which the head was the ancient Babylonian Empire. Alright? Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, alright, that empire which they were ethnic Assyrians. Alright? Go ahead.
It says, his breast and his arms of silver.
Breast and his arms of silver, which who succeeded the Babylonian Empire? The Medo-Persian Empire. Alright? The Medes and the Persians. Alright? The Medes, or the Medes, some would call them, was an ethnic group that originally, basically, they had the power and the upper hand at first. I believe under Darius, if I'm not mistaken, the first. But with Cyprus and so on and so forth, yeah, and then also you have Persian Darius as well. You have multiple different Darius, you know. But also, which I believe it was, a brother can look it up, but I believe it was Cyprus the Great, who was the grandfather of Darius. Not Cyprus, Cyrus. Cyrus, well, he was the grandson of Darius. Darius was his Median or Medes grandfather, but he was actually a Persian. All right, but he took the empire from his grandfather, you know, and that's how the empire was converted from the Medes monarchy to the Persian monarchy. You know, go ahead.
It says, continuing, it says, his legs of iron, his feet part of.
He said his leg. No, read from the silver.
Yeah, from the silver. It says like his breast and his arms of silver.
Which are the Medes and the Persians, and the Achaemenid Empire. Go ahead.
It says his belly and his thighs of brass.
It says his belly and his thighs brass. Now, who succeeded the Persian Empire? The Greeks. Alexander the Great. Right? He was the successor of the Persian Empire. He took down the Persian Empire. And the Greeks are the brass. That's talking about Alexander and his successors, which they weren't, it wasn't one, the Macedonian Empire was just under Alexander, but then you had different Greek empires that broke up, primarily under his four generals. You know, I believe his, brother help me out, is Lysimachus, Ptolemy, Seleucus, and Cassander. Right? And they all had their individual empires and realms that they carved out of Alexander's vast empire. You know? But that's all a part of the brass. All of that is talking about the brass of the image.
It says, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron.
Go ahead. It said his legs of iron. Now, who succeeded the Greek empires? Who took down the Seleucid Empire? What is it? Antiochus the great, who was the father of Antiochus Epiphanes, if I'm not mistaken, his major decline from his greatness was against the Romans. He lost against the Romans. I think he went east and then he lost in Bactria or something of that nature. But it was really the Romans who succeeded and took down those Greek empires. The Romans took those Greeks down. Ooh, even Antiochus IV Epiphanes. What made him not be able to conquer the whole realm of Egypt? It was the Romans. And that's where you get that term, drawing the line in the sand, because the Roman diplomat he drew a line in the sand around Antiochus IV, and he said, you can't leave this circle until you make your decision, whether to basically to pull out. And that's where the term drawing the line in the sand comes from. But guess who stopped them up? The Romans. And the Romans ultimately conquered all that landmass, and they succeeded those empires.
Really, Romans like Jordan in the 90s. Like, they stopped a lot of great shit from happening.
Yeah, they did.
They were prophetic.
They did. The Romans crushed Jerusalem.
Yeah.
In 70 AD. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna ask, sorry to interrupt. Can you expand on what was happening when he drew that line? Because
yeah, absolutely.
I hear that term a lot.
Yeah, so definitely read the apocryphal book. You know, because history is vast. I can briefly paraphrase, but just for you to get the full understanding, read the apocryphal books. Read first book of Maccabees and second Maccabees. You know, you'll come across third and fourth, but in the apocryphal books you're never going to see the first and second. So just at least start off with the first and second book of Maccabees in the apocryphal books. All right, and it's going to give you the history in detail of Antiochus Epiphanes. Yeah, it's going to go into all that history. You know what I'm saying? But basically what he did was he tried to, even in the book of Daniel, the 11th chapter, which that's kind of, that's Daniel, the 11th chapter talks about too, but if you want like detailed history, first and second Maccabees. You see what I'm saying? So, but with Antiochus, he went and tried to conquer Egypt from Ptolemy, right? Because Ptolemy's died and his son succeeded him. He tried to take advantage of him having a teenage son on the throne, and he came and tried to conquer Egypt, and he did. But the Romans came on behalf of the Ptolemaic dynasty, and they told him to, they basically told him he had to get out. They said he had to go back, and he was mad.
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
And that's Ptolemy with a P.
Yeah, Ptolemy is with a P. It's just silent, but in the Greek. But it's when you look it up, it's going to be a P.
So I looked up the origin of draw the line in the sand from Wikipedia. It says in 168 BC, a Roman consul named Gaius Popilius Latinus drew a circular line in the sand around King Antiochus IV. Yeah, that's the fourth of the Seleucid Empire. And said, before you cross the circle, I want you to give me a reply from the Roman Senate, implying that Rome would declare war if the king stepped outside of the circle without committing to leave Egypt immediately. Weighing his options, Antiochus wisely decided to withdraw. Only then did Populus agree to shake hands with him.
So that shows you that Rome was that iron. They put the Seleucid Empire in shit.
That was a vast empire.
That was a vast, powerful empire, man.
Just to add to that brother's point, you gotta remember the time that they doing this, they going to war with Hannibal Barca at the time. They taking over the Mediterranean seas at this time because they started out small. Like people going to the Romans, they really started out small. The Greek was greater than them. The Lord really showed like how he walked with the Romans and brought them to a particular power. Going to the histories of Rome, it really shows like the Lord was really walking with these guys. Good meaning, man.
Empire is not made in days.
Who was it? Hannibal Barca came up. What was the slave? Spartacus. Spartacus tried to come up. Every last one of these great general leaders of those times, they got smacked.
Nobody could take them down. The Gauls couldn't take them down. When they came, they conquered everything. You know, because the Lord was with the Romans. Just like that's how America was able to conquer everything, and NATO and EU been able to spread their tentacles all over the earth because the Lord being with them, not because the Lord loved them or care about them, but because the Lord wants to make them, put them on the sacrifice altar to kill them. Just for prophecy's sake, just like He wanted to sacrifice Pharaoh. The Lord made Pharaoh great because He wanted to use them to be a burnt offering, so all nations will be able to see and know. The Lord made Sodom and Gomorrah great and made them rich and prosperous. But what did He do? He made them a sacrifice. He destroyed them with fire and brimstone. You know? And then if you guys have
All right, it says, continue.
Oh,
you
got
go ahead, bro.
This is 2nd Ezra 11, and I saw, and this is a heavy chapter for bros to go into. 2nd Ezra 11 and 2, and I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. And this is talking about Rome. This whole chapter is talking about ancient Rome, not New Rome, America. It's talking about ancient Rome. But basically, it says her wings. She spread her wings all over the earth because Rome expanded vastly. Like brothers was going into, Rome took over basically within a short amount of time. You know, everything.
Like the scripture say, like going into his country swift as an eagle. That's
Right.
synonymous with it. And it says the air is lifting him up. Like when you're talking about a bird of prey, they don't really fly that long. They don't have longevity. They built for stamina,
Right.
quick strikes. The air lifting them up is holding them. So for a time, it's like I'm gonna be here until I'm ready to strike. The Lord was with him. The air is lifting him up. Shows you the Lord lifted this eagle up to a point he was at perfect. So when it was time for him to strike, he did it with precision. Man. He came down quicker than a foul.
And that's
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, you brought the eagle. I should have went to 1. It says, then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads.
What was the symbol of
That was Rome. Yeah.
the eagle? You know? So those wings represent their God influence. You know? The scripture speaks about, now that's only talking about ancient Rome, and even that it goes into the 12 feathers, those are the 12 different Caesars.
Yep.
You know, you had 12 different, now you had other Caesars, but the 12 Caesars were the Edomite rulerships of Rome.
Right.
You know, they were the Edom because they were really, because the word Caesar comes from Julius Caesar. Right? Or Julius Caesar, however you want to pronounce it.
He was the first
He
one.
was the first Edomite ruler of the Roman Empire, because before Julius, it was the Roman Republic. And when he came in power, and then when he died, that created the Roman Empire. You know, and so that's talking about the Edomite rulership. Those 12 feathers are the 12 Edomite Caesars.
You got the 3 heads. That first triumphant. Pompey, Crassus,
They came.
got it.
Continue back in Daniel 2 and 33. His legs of iron.
That's talking about those 12 feathers. That's talking about the beast of 7 heads and 10 horns. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it's talking about. And really going into the 7 heads, because the 7 heads was going into the ancient Rome. The 10 horns is really, you can apply to the different rulerships of Esau, but it's really, especially for prophecy's sake, it's talking about NATO EU. You know? But 2nd Ezra 11 chapter is not talking about NATO and EU. It's just talking about the ancient Roman Empire. Go ahead.
All right, continue. It says, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
Man, you see how they made that difference? Now, it says his legs of iron, that's 2nd Ezra, the 11th chapter. That's the ancient Roman Empire. But then it says the feet, man, we just jumped 2,000 years. That's, or 1,500 years. That's NATO EU. Starting from the Renaissance period, but it's really going into, especially now, it's talking about NATO and the EU. You know? And that's part of iron and part of clay. All right, now it was part of iron, so yeah, it was still Roman. They still had military might, but see, it wasn't all the way unified. NATO and EU are not unified, and then you have some strong provinces, some weak provinces. You know, which the weak represents the clay, and it also represents they have difference in opinion. They're not a unified empire like ancient Rome.
You see that today?
Yeah.
You see that today? They scrambling around right now.
I know the brother just put it in the group earlier this week. What was the 3 European countries that just came out? I want to say it was Sweden, Norway, and it was another. They're they just broke off. They just broke away from Germany.
That was this
No, it
one.
wasn't Germany. But basically these are 3 weak countries, and one of them is a part of NATO, one of them is a part of EU, and Norway is a part of neither one of them. They just do business. That's that part iron and part clay, because Esau is still going to deal with his constituents in his home. But it's showing us the weakness, and it's showing you that, like the brother say, the
because
part.
I think what you was just to add on to what you were saying, I think they said they said that they was going to recognize a Palestinian state.
Yeah, the Palestinian state.
That contradicts what NATO and EU been doing. You know, yeah, that contradicts what NATO and EU been doing. Go ahead.
That Norway, formerly the Kingdom of Norway, is a holy.
You can just whenever you get it, read that again. We're gonna buy them.
This is.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, grab that and then we're gonna get that. Grab that and then hit that $1,000.
Done. This is Mark chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself.
If a kingdom be divided, and you said it says formerly the kingdom, because these provinces were kingdoms at one point.
Yeah.
They're still technically kingdoms. A lot of that stuff is hereditary. Like those people, they just like they have cousins and stuff. You just don't know about it. They don't push it. But a lot of those presidents, and then even they still
related. It's a
they be
bloodline.
related.
Yeah,
They just be fooling the people. Those people are related. You know. Go
I
ahead.
start at 23, so we go. This is Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
So that's the part iron, part clay. That's a kingdom divided against itself. NATO and EU are not unified. They're divided, right? They're divided, man. They're not seeing eye to eye. Look what America just did with Germany blowing the Nord Stream pipeline, and to the rest of Europe for that matter. Just because they want to be selfish and they got certain political ambitions against Russia. Now Germany's going to have to freeze to death and have to deal with hyperinflation. That was America's fault. Well, what is Germany going to do for that? You know, Britain is going to suffer. The different European nations are suffering because of America's negligence in Ukraine. America got fucking European nations involved down in Ukraine. You know, it's America's fault, man. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
It says, it's from Al Jazeera. It says, why is Israel angry? Some EU countries are recognizing Palestine.
Bam, that's part iron. That's what the scripture says. Part of iron, part of clay. Because NATO and EU are divided, man. You know?
The G word. You know, if y'all been watching the Apostle Tamar, y'all know the G word. Y'all know the G word? What's going on with Israel doing what they're doing in Gaza? It's unethical. That's unethical.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, because hey man, but going back to that division, a lot of people are saying it's unethical, so they're standing with Palestine.
Yeah, and it's unprecedented too the way they killing them damn Arabs.
Yeah.
You know, y'all killing the hell out of them Arabs, man.
Baby.
They goddamn, those sons of Ishmael. How dare you? I'm gonna stand over there. No, hey, go ahead, bro.
It says Ireland, Norway, and Spain will formally recognize Palestine as a state for the sake of peace in the Middle East.
Yeah. And so that's them being divided. because those countries are a part of the NATO and EU power bloc, and that's not what America doing though. America saying it's not a G word.
Yeah.
There's no G word going on. You know, these guys are hypocrites. You guys are terrible people, man. You know, and we been knew y'all were terrible people. Now the whole world is seeing how terrible people you guys are. You guys are murderers, man. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Aren't they
The death toll is over 35,000.
Yeah.
And that's a light number.
Yeah, they putting that out.
That's a light number.
I for,
They dying every day.
Bragdon said he'd turn into a parking lot.
And it's like, where is that in prophecy where God was going to turn into a parking lot? Like, when did you know what? Then that day we don't turn Gaza into a parking lot. No, it doesn't say that. The scripture actually says Gaza will be a place for sheep, flocks of sheep. Gaza is supposed to be a beautiful prairie with all types of sheep and cows and goats and just beautiful land.
Without blemish, man. You feel me?
yeah.
Just a beautiful port where you got all type of riches coming in to the heartland of Jerusalem. All type of beautiful merchandise and servants supposed to be coming off that coast. All type of cattle supposed to be living all up on the land. But you bombing the land.
They have a warrant for the yeah, they got a warrant for him, man.
Oh,
Yeah, and then international crime court, they got a warrant for them because of what they doing in Palestine, you know.
And then they got a warrant for Putin too.
And see, the thing is that what they're saying is that he's perpetuating this war.
It's good.
Once he gets out of office,
He's done. He's in jail. Like,
Lie.
he already like 70 years old. He not about to. He bringing this shit to Jehoshaphat. That nigga's not going out of office. He's saying fuck that. He don't give a fuck about none of y'all. He got a bunker he about to crawl into. He gonna bring it to Jehoshaphat. They don't assassinate him or something like that. He's not just about to sit down and stand down. Hell no. He gonna go up to the north. He gonna try to fight Hezbollah, and they gonna end up killing their damn self. They gonna bring fucking Armageddon to Israel.
That's right, baby.
You know. Go ahead.
All right, continue. It says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands.
Wait, time out now. It says a stone was cut out without hands. Now, what is that stone? In all honesty, it's a great millstone. They're not, I mean, it's really talking about Yahushua, but Apostle Gabar always tell you that Yahushua is the truth. He's the greatest of millstones. He is a great millstone. Yes, sir. You know? How you think we're going to have a title, but he's the chief.
He's the elect.
He's the big dog. Yahushua, that's talking about Yahushua. And he's coming in that chariot. That chariot, which the term chariot actually means, when you go into the Hebrew, it means millstone. And then, of course, he's going to come in the great millstone because he's coming in the fathership. Oh, well, we can go get that. Grab it real quick, and then we're going to get that, and I'm going to finish this cut.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 1. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Yep.
The natural Gentiles.
Yeah, and that's the Gentiles is iron and clay. Those are Gentiles. Go ahead.
Continuing on.
And all these other nations on the statue, because they also gonna have to fight against Yahushua in the Middle East. Go ahead.
Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords.
That's the iron and the clay. Go ahead.
And your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong.
Which the iron and the clay, just to elaborate more, is them changing their investments from agriculture and other aspects of their economy to investing into their military.
Right.
These different nations. But that starts with the iron and clay, because Esau Edom is the one who funds these different nations. He has the military hardware. Yeah. Esau makes the guns, he makes the missile defense systems.
Yeah, hey, brother, right on that, man. That clay is going to the agriculture.
Go ahead, bro.
Continuing on, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Which is the Levant region. All right, and what you consider today is the Middle East, the fertile. Well, it's not fertile. It's supposed to be a fertile crescent, but Esau, it's cursed. Well, I ain't gonna say Esau. We'll take accountability. We supposed to be in there right now. We fucked up. All right. The land mourns for us. That's our land. That's why it's not bearing the fruit it's supposed to bear.
Yeah.
It's our fault. But it's okay because Yahushua about to return and he's going to make all things new. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Read that
that's
again.
right.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahushua, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Verse 13.
See, the Lord going to judge all the heathen. Go ahead.
Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
That's what the Lord is doing with the stone coming down that was not claiming with hands. And the Lord's putting in the sickle, all right, which the sickle is a weapon of war. All right, it's a harvest device, but the harvest is the heathen because their iniquity is waxed too bad. Like look what Esau's done. Esau, you destroyed everything. You made this earth so bad, man. You ruined everything, bro. And so now it's time for the Lord to come judge you. Go ahead and finish that, then we're gonna finish this in Daniel.
Yep, continuing on. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, and the vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision.
Which that's the term Armageddon. Wait. I'm gonna ask quick quiz to brothers on the other side. What's the word Armageddon mean in Hebrew?
What's the Hebrew word and what's the meaning?
I know the word Armageddon.
Say it again.
Armageddon.
Okay, now what does it mean?
Oh.
Is it Armageddon?
Armageddon.
No. Wait. What? Okay.
Close though.
Yeah. So
Armageddon.
God won. Har God won.
It's a hit inside the name too.
You know, which the word har means mountain, which is another way of saying multitude, because a mountain is big, a multitude is big. So the term har is interchangeable for multitude of mountains. All right? Har, ma means pertaining to or of. All right? Har, God. So what's God mean?
Power.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And that's, of course, that's one of the kinsmen, that's one of us of the nation of Israel. One of the tribes is God, or Gad. You know? Which God won. So if I'm asking this, Lord, so God is what? Truth, right? So what's God won?
God won.
Harmagad won. I'm gonna help you out. It's like a plural way of saying of troops.
Yep.
Typically you'll see yum or wath in plural, but like that's also that's a plural essence of saying troop. So mountain of troops, multitude of troops. That's what Armageddon means. So when you see these people on the news, these newscast agencies, oh, it's Armageddon, they'll be using it wrong. Like, yeah, I get it, but that's not what it means. They act like a nuclear explosion is Armageddon. That's not what Armageddon is. Armageddon is when those nations gather themselves into the Middle East. That's Armageddon because it means multitude of troops, mountain of troops. There we go. Keep going, bro.
This is that, continuing in Daniel. This is Daniel 2 and 2:35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together.
They were broken into pieces where? In the Middle East, at Armageddon, in Jehoshaphat. All right, go ahead. By who? Yahushua. The Lord, that's how you're not going to take down Esau. We're not going to take down Esau Edom ourselves. Yahushua is going to take them down in Armageddon.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It says, broken to pieces together and become like...
Wait, it says broken in pieces together. How is that? Because there are multitudes in Jehoshaphat, in the Middle East. How else are all these different nations going to be broken together? Because they're all going to be gathered together in the Middle East for Yahushua. All right? Go ahead.
It says... and become like the chaff of the summer's threshing floor.
We're not going to get it, but in the book of Second Ezra, it tells you that when the Lord deals with them in Jehoshaphat, he's going to turn their armies into powder. He's going to turn them to like pillars of smoke. It's just all their tanks, everything's just going to be, it's just going to be smelling in the air.
Bone dust.
It's just going to be gone. They're going to be, everything going to be gone. You're not going to see no soldiers. Everybody's just going to be dead. No bodies. He's going to cremate them. Go ahead.
It says,
That's badass.
and become like the chaff of the summer's threshing floor.
You got to fear Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead. It's like,
And the wind carried them away.
and the wind carried them away, but that's the Lord's power, his influence through his concentrated fire. You know? That's it on that.
Nah, it's more.
Okay.
That no place was found for them.
No place is found for them because they all gonna be cremated.
This is what you're going into at the beginning of, you start speaking. This is the end. It says, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain.
Showing you, so that great millstone is talking about all of the nations. It's talking about the elect. Yeah, it starts with Yahweh Shai, but it said it became a great mountain. Who is that talking about? Isaiah the second chapter. That's talking about the nation of Israel. Now, Yahweh Shai, we're not going to do this. The Lord going to do this. But because he does this, he's going to allow us to establish our kingdom under Yahweh Shai. Under Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, we're going to have the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Yasharallah. We're going to rule the entire earth. You know? That's what we're saying.
And filled the whole earth.
And fill the whole earth. Yasharallah is going to fill the entire earth. We're going to spread around like a tree, man. We're going to rule the planet Earth. You know? It's beautiful. You know? Yeah, that's fact.
It's through tectonic plates, through the movement, because the earth actually grows.
Yeah, the earth grows.
So
That's it, bro. So, hey, the water for your time and for the opportunity for edification in the spirit. I'm gonna let another brother speak and teach. Shalom. Y'all bet you
Good stuff.
To our blessing.
As the brother's going into, I just follow up what the brother was talking about, how the Lord is about to destroy these other nations, and as you can see, the build-up right now happening down in that region. China's encircling Taiwan right now, right? So you're starting to see that build-up there, and so right now the Lord is moving all the chess pieces in place to bring these scriptures, what the brother just broke down, to bring these to light. So you can go ahead and bring that out, brother.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Brothers went over, how it's hot, troops, all the troops going down into that area, that valley, to start war. For their destruction,
It says, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Now that word plead goes into judge, okay? So when you go into that word plead, he's talking about judge. Well, we all know what judgment is about, right? See what I'm saying? So it's not going to be pretty for those other nations, right?
It says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Yeah, so, you're seeing right now, the history of the people that caused all of this. It's coming out like crazy. The world is turning against them. Because now they're seeing the very thing that they've done to us is happening to everybody else right before their eyes. And it's been happening, but now the Lord has removed the covering cast that was put upon all nations, because you really have to be blind now. Like really really you have to have some type of spiritual and psychological block. You know, I was watching that the other day, and Jake got on. He said, I don't know how y'all people have been able to steal lands, murder, cause wars for hundreds of years and convince the world that we the problem. That's some hell of a manipulation right there. You know? Like to be able to, like, y'all are openly doing this. You know, your history, the brother broke down the Roman Empire, right? And then when you go into the history of the Roman Empire, the things that they were doing, they were wicked. You know? They were totally wicked. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of those kings in Rome. I believe it was
Wasn't it like in Scottish or something?
Yeah, you would have to sleep with your wife.
God, that's horrible.
Before you did. And it was with every single.
That was in that movie.
Yeah, so it's like this is
God.
This is so, you know, just give a little bit of history. So, Rome birthed Britain, and Britain birthed America. So that's why it's such a similarity between Rome and America, because of where it came from. You know, literally a copy of Rome. Continue on with that.
It says,
This second Ezra, chapter 13, and verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they were gathered together to subdue him. This is second Ezra 13 and verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him.
Those are all the nations. You know, they fight each other. Right? They look up and see how it shine cracking the clouds. Right? So now they got it together. They say, okay, we're gonna try to fight the Lord. You know? That's what we about to do. All of our governments, all of our all there. They fight against each other to stop it.
And lo, all that which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid.
Yeah, so they were scared as hell. Like when you see something that's as big as the whole entire sky,
Right.
like you literally looking at the sky and whatever it is, it's like as far as you can see, it is.
Right.
You know? Like it's not like they came on Independence Day, we're just like one, you're like, oh, it's a ship. No, it's gonna be a big ass ship. I mean, of course it's gonna be, you're gonna have the angels and other little ships too that's gonna be, but when the Father ship comes, oh, that's gonna be a sight to behold.
Darkness and gloominess.
That's why when the Apostle John was looking at it, he was likening it onto a mountain because he couldn't perceive where it ended. You know? You go ahead and bring it out.
This Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds,
Yeah.
and every eye shall see him.
How is every eye is going to see? It's every eye. Look, you're going to have people with their camera phone looking at it.
Every eye.
But you're going to be able to physically see it.
Every eye.
Every eye going to be able to physically see it. Like, what the hell is that?
Right.
And there going to be no Project Bluebeam.
Right.
You know, you're not going to just see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel the pressure from it. You know how, like, you're watching those animes and they feel the spiritual pressure and they can't stand up?
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel the pressure. It's going to be like, this is true power.
Right.
Like every knee shall bow. Yeah, every knee shall bow. So it's going to be like, oh, pow. You know? And the bishop said this one time, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. They coming from another dimension, right? So it's going to be a ripple effect. It's like entering into a pond. Like when you step into water, you're literally going into another world. You see what I'm saying? We don't perceive it like that because it's so common for us.
Yeah.
But when we step into a fish's environment,
Wow, bro.
you see what I'm saying? It shakes them up. That's why they scatter.
Right,
you
right.
Step into the environment,
Right.
you just disrupted their stuff.
Time, bro.
So you got something coming from another dimension that massive, that big,
Sound travels fast.
coming into this world. Imagine the power. It's gonna look like something like your mind probably couldn't even imagine what's gonna happen when he comes. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they're gonna try to fight against. Like pew pew pew. You know, trying to introduce all of technology. How you gonna like fight against somebody who created everything? The stuff that you're using to fight them, he made. The ideas that you thought that were yours, that you used to make that, he gave you. The rulership, I got you, bro. The rulership and the heaven and the wind that was under your wings, that was the Lord lifting you up. Like, you know, you don't even realize that the Lord don't even have to leave his throne. He ain't got to do nothing. He just speaks it. Scriptures say that my word should not return back unto me void. But it will go out to accomplish what I sent it to do. That's it. Y'all crazy, man, thinking y'all can fight against the Lord. You finish up that,
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also will pierce him.
Now see, this also goes back into the incarnation. It's always, and you see, the thing is when you start looking into the scriptures, it's one fold but many fold. You know, it's parabolic. You know, it's dark sayings and woes, right? So you have to understand what he's talking about. You know, you got to really think, what does he mean every eye shall see him?
Right.
Even those that pierce him. Well, didn't they die a while ago?
Right.
What exactly are you talking about when you say, how they going to see him? Right? Because if they're going to physically see him, how are they going to physically see him? Well, they have to be here. But see, you're thinking in the mindset of, oh, it's the actual person. No, it's the spirit of that person that's in that body. That's what it is.
Right.
It's the spirit, that spirit is inhabiting that body. Like, you know, it says the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets, right? That's what scripture say. So we come back not knowing who we was in our past lives, so we do the same job as we did before. They do the same thing.
So there is an actual doctrine, a premeditated doctrine that they have written up for themselves that when he comes back, whatever they're doing, fighting each other, they're going to stop and then fight him.
I don't know if they do. I don't know.
Lord's gonna put the spirit on. Yeah, but you would have to presume because Nixon came out on national television and told
Reagan.
Reagan came out on national television.
I've been wondering. That's why I'm asking you guys.
That was more, in my personal opinion, when Reagan did that, that was more on the lines of
speaking against.
Not just that, but trying to unify the world under one banner. You know what I'm saying? For that one world order thing. Right. You see. So he was saying that, and that's when a lot of programs like Project Bluebeam and all those things came into fruition because they use a lot of deception to try to accomplish their goals.
Right.
Additionally, they have to wait for of course, they know what the chariots are. They know that those vehicles will be held by superior shots. So they are preparing the battle for that battle, and then the Lord will put the spirit on them to battle too, just like He do with the elect. You know, the Lord, because if we try to go up with this devil now, we go lose.
No, yeah.
You know, so the Lord gonna have to put that spirit on us, you know, those spiritual powers, so on and so forth, to be able to go against the devil. Right. You know?
May I miss a quick point? Where the scripture says there was I don't know if you got it. It said there was a flame.
There's fight. That's what it is.
We gonna bring it out. Yeah, we gonna bring it out. So, you know, what I was saying is like, me personally, I don't know if they know or not. But the Lord is going to move them to do it. He's already moving them to do it. You see, because the thing is that you can't do anything against the truth before the truth. So every movement that Esau makes,
doesn't matter what it is.
Doesn't matter what it is. It's the Lord's plan that's doing it. You know, he can think that he's moving one way, but no, you're still moving the same way the Lord wants you to move. You know, whoever resists his will. You see what I'm saying?
So you not, it says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord turned it which way he wanted to go. So you really don't, go ahead, finish that out, man.
Time. Continuing on, it says that all kindreds of the earth shall well because of him. Even so, amen.
Yeah. So everybody on the earth, every tongue, every language, every color, every creed, they're gonna all be afraid. It's gonna be like, what is, I mean, look, the earth is gonna be shaken. I mean, this is gonna be some tough stuff, man. I mean, this is outside of the nuclear destruction being secondary to, like, you know, my opinion, like, you're looking at the splendor of the nuclear destruction through the chariots. Hey, seeing that chariot crack the clouds for the first time, it's gonna be something that you would never forget in over a million years. That will be fresh in your head because it's gonna be so awe-inspiring, you know, for us, you know, for those that are chosen. But for them, it's gonna put terror in it. It's gonna put terror into us too. But Lord willing, we get beamed up to that thing before, you know. Because I mean, like, I see something like that, I'm gonna be petrified, man. I don't care if I've been doing the work or not.
Hell yeah.
You know, I see something like that, I'm praying that, hey, man, you're not just, I mean, when you see that, that's when you know, hey, the Lord came for business.
For real.
And you don't want to be a part of that business, the negative part of it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a part of that business. So he coming for business. You don't want to see that. So that's gonna be all, and it's gonna be a fearful thing, you know.
Yeah, I'll bring it out. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
You see, when the Lord beams his elect unto the chariots, he gonna put on the show. He gonna put on the show. Like, oh, y'all thought y'all could do this, huh? Y'all thought y'all had the technology to do, you know, y'all had your Star Trek and, you know, y'all had y'all little imaginary stuff. But look what I really did, you know. We can't even imagine what the Lord is going to do because it's going to be so much fun because, you know, his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, you know. So when he actually doing for us, it's much greater than what we can imagine because it's not of his will, literally. It's not of his will.
Exodus chapter 13, continuing on in verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight.
You know, the Lord don't like he don't like somebody that ain't gonna throw a punch.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, he wants you to throw a punch. Like, come on, man, do something. Yeah. You know. So yeah. So then, oh yeah, that's what you got. Ain't nothing left. Ain't nothing left. Everything is gone. Like, you know, it's just vapor. Like, literally vapor. Like, you just took all of the elements and literally just dissolved them. You know, you just whatever that fire that came out of it, just took anything that was tangible matter and just turned it into nothing.
Uncreated it.
You know, like all your weapons and all of your everything that you thought that you made and all your preparations and your all that stuff, just destroyed it in a matter of moments. You know, you just look up and then bam, done.
If I may say, it's all for the magnification, I guess, of his name.
That's it, bro.
Because the earth, they forgot about terrible things like power.
All right, baby.
You know, they don't know the God of the heavens and the earth. So he's gonna have to show them.
Yep.
And look, real quick. What's happening in the earth right now? Ain't the Lord tearing these lands up? Look what's happening in Brazil. You know, like this is the worst flood that they've ever had in history.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 17 says, "So the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up,
that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
That's right.
Isn't that something, man, where you get, he literally just puts you in a position just so he can smack you down.
Right.
You know, and it's the same with Esau. We're just saying, Malachi was that he would build and I would throw down. Malachi 1. Yeah, you could get that.
Because if I can make a point, to land back off the brother, because Esau, he's the modern day Pharaoh.
Yeah.
You know, so like brothers was going into it, the Lord is basically putting him on a level just to magnify his name, because the downfall of this place is gonna be great.
That's right.
You know, it's gonna be something, you know, that's never seen before, like David chapter said. So you see, so people is gonna have that, you know, that level of reverence to Yahweh Shai by how he destroys Esau.
Just to add a little bit more, and that's gonna be forever.
Yes, sir.
Like that's like nobody's gonna ever forget about that.
You know, that got to be a hell of an ass whooping, because we forget ass whoopings of value. Ass whoopings of value, you forget them, you ain't tripping over like this. Just the mere thought of like the judgment of what the Lord did to Esau will always put you back in a particular experience in the kingdom, man. If you don't want that judgment, right. It's gonna be like yesterday to you. Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah, you remember
That's
that.
the one that make you straighten up.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're gonna be in a perfect mind, in a perfect state. You know, all things are gonna be brought back to us, so we don't know.
No, I'm saying, but in
Oh yeah, to the heathen. Yeah, you're right.
The flesh is extreme.
Yeah, they ain't gonna forget that. But you know, we're gonna be there to remind them just in case they try to. What does Scripture say? We're gonna dash the nations to bits like a pot of blood. You know, start with Yahweh Shai first, but we're gonna be there too. Be part of his mouth. You know. So we gonna yeah, you wanna hey, if you don't wanna bow down, Scripture said we're gonna destroy you. That's it. There ain't gonna be no arguing, ain't gonna be no nothing, there ain't gonna be no, you know, like ain't gonna be no weapons of war brought up. It's just gonna be like, all right, you just through. That's it. You know, you just don't exist no more. You don't want to do it? Oh, you sure you don't want to do it? You know who you're talking to now, right? But see, that's why the other nations are gonna flow onto us, because they're gonna see that the ways of that we teach them is gonna be prosperous. Because you can bring that out, and then y'all bring out your precept and we go back to that.
Okay. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 22. Therefore, whereas thou doest chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, and when we ourselves are judged, we shall look for mercy.
So anyway, I was heavy. So when we sit here and we think that we going through something, you wait till today on the other end of the stick. You know, you be like, God damn, the Lord he was light-handed on us. He flicked us with his finger. And he put his whole foot in their ass. You know? Because he said that what we going through is a light thing. We think it's all like, oh, our lives are all terrible. But the Lord said, well, man, it's really light. Now look what I'm about to do to this one.
And they say the Lord is long suffering. So we suffer in the nations. We get punished, daily. The Lord ain't let us prolong it. We letting the heathen build up a tab.
Yeah. And if you ain't used to getting that ass whooping, wow. Then that one that's gonna hit you first is gonna be there. Like a big kid when he first gets that ass whooping.
I didn't know he could do that.
Yeah.
And then too, not only is it your first ass whooping, but it's the worst one.
Yeah. Damn.
You're not only getting that your ass whooped for the first time, but you're getting the worst ass whooping. Like, hey, we looking at you like, damn. Like, seriously. Because it say everyone that shall see him shall hiss. It say, is this the man that caused nations to shake? You know? That's what people say. So you're like, damn. Like, damn. people.
Yep.
You controlled all the money. Like, we don't even know the fullest extent of what this devil has done. Nowhere near. Because the depths are just too deep. It probably bugged us out if we knew all the stuff the devil was doing.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
See, the problem is that if Jake thinks that correction is something that you hate, you want to keep doing the wrong thing all the time.
Right.
Man, tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing, so stop it. It's much more prosperous to do right, right? Jake don't want to hear it. That's why he says, "Friends, I love you," because love is actually correction is built into it. If you don't correct somebody, you don't love them.
That's it. I got it. Good one. Go ahead. Proverbs 15:10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die.
That's right.
So to a man that thinks that being corrected is such a burden, first of all, fools hate knowledge. So
Right.
correction is a knowledgeable act. It's to accept correction. You see, when somebody's correcting you, say, hey man, you're doing it. No matter how the correction comes, because sometimes the Spirit might put it on a brother to give you a heavy correction. You might need that. I mean, sometimes you need that. You're like, bro, come on, man. And sometimes it's a very light correction. But nevertheless, whether the correction is, you should hate it. And really, if you hate correction, that's your own ego. Really. Sometimes it's a light correction, sometimes a heavy correction. But I can tell you one thing, it never feels good sometimes, like when you're being corrected. Because you got to make that adjustment within yourself. But that's why you got to let go of things like pride. That's something else you can figure that out.
It says, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Right. Because you act like because the Lord is teaching us something right now that he don't love us. Right? Oh, you don't love me. You got me on punishment all the time. You don't love me. You know, little badass kids be saying that to their parents. You don't love me. I'm always in my room. Right? I'm always on punishment. You always bad. Where thou hast loved us?
It says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau.
I love Jacob, and I hated Esau. The Lord said, well, you know what? He can just go ahead and rack up his tab. I'm not going to really correct him. I hate that nigga. I don't care what he do. Have you ever, really think about it? When you hate somebody, do you care what they do? Do you think about them like?
Well, that's why the scripture said that the heathens are the drop of the bucket.
Right.
Because you don't really even though our everyday walk, you really don't really recognize heathens like that. But when you see Jake, it irritates you. You recognize, you just look at every little thing they do. Because hey, we fucking hate the heathens, right? So it's like, bro, whatever. We understand the judgment that's coming, right?
He said spit on if you spit, you're not thinking about that spit.
Right. He said he likened the other nations as a dust in the balance. Blow that off.
It says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
His governments and his history, everything that should be passed down to him, all his knowledge, all that stuff, I'm going to lay it waste. Go ahead.
For the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord.
And he did that. He came back and he rebuilt the desolate places. He did that. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord has his indignation forever.
Right, so the Lord got indignation against Esau here. Okay, forever. Forever and ever and ever. So the Lord got indignation against Esau forever and ever. So So as he was saying in Malachi, the Lord is going to throw all these things down. So that's why these kingdoms, America, is done. You know, going back into what we were saying earlier, he's gonna wipe America down. He's gonna wipe all the nations that beat him down. You know, the EU, NATO, all that stuff gonna get wiped down. Everything is gonna be completely destroyed. Everything is gonna be completely destroyed and wiped out. You see? So that's why the Lord is dragging all of these. One of the reasons why He's dragging all these nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat to fulfill these prophecies. Because as these things progress, what do you think the other nations are doing? They're pointing missiles at Babylon. What did you see China, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin just do the other day? Didn't they have the briefcases with the codes?
Yeah.
You know? Didn't they have the briefcases with the codes on them?
Right, out in public.
So, and this was something done as an intimidation tactic. You know, I know he brought it earlier. Go back. Bring out the precept, bro. I bring that up.
Because the brother was going into, how the Lord really going to smack Esau down. He allowed him to build, but he's going to throw down. And this is what it's going into in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Yeah, so the dragon ain't talking about. The dragon is talking about Esau Edom. That's what it's talking about. Okay? It's not talking about a physical dragon, but Esau Edom is likened unto a dragon. That's why we hold up that sign. So we show you the different tribes. Right?
Turn continuing on.
Is that the state lady?
It says, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. So, when Esau Edom fights against the Lord and the Lord's men, the Lord is going to destroy him. And when it talks about heaven, he's going to be brought down to hell. Like his good condition where the Lord gave him the fatness of the earth and all of that's going to be over. That's done. We need to. And it will be no more of that. Okay? And it's going to be done all in that moment. With one single level.
Revelation 15 and verse 2 says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire.
Yeah, that's talking about the firmament. Well, we're going to be looking down through the firmament. Standing up on them chariots.
Yeah. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
Yeah, that's going to be us. That's the strangers of our salvation. When we get beamed up into those chariots, we're willing to be that number. And it says the victory. See, so that's, what we're fighting for, man, to defeat this beast. Along let Yahweh Shai to use us, to defeat this place, man. But it says, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name. Why do you think, you're a spirit of TV, why do you think it says, victory of his image? Because the image of the beast is just going system. And this is like such a bad system. Like how many brothers struggling right now on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
Because the system is so oppressive, you can't do shit.
And that's why, like Tupac was saying, man, revenge is the sweetest joy that's getting that block.
Yeah, right.
And the scriptures also, it speaks of seeing the downfall of your enemies. So that's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a very pleasing, thing to see.
Yeah.
It's the downfall of your enemy, man.
And that's what we want to see. And then guess what? We can see this place burning in the firmament. We'll be looking down through the chariots. And I heard Elder Apostle Bar saying when that happens, the Lord is actually going to repair the firmament. He's going to purify it like that. That fire that's going to cleanse the earth is going to, not just that, it's going to restore everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord is a master. He's a master planner. You planning their destruction and the repair all at the same time.
Matter of fact, I got a scripture. Hold on. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone and through none other. By me also they should be ended, and by none other.
Lord made them. He said, I'm an enemy. You made them. I made them. I'm an enemy. What did he say? He said you got another.
Yeah, this Luke 10:24, it says, "For I tell you that this prophet is desired to see those who continuing on, it says, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them." So ultimately, man, hey, of course, we're getting the breakdowns and the understanding of prophecy and things of that sort, but we also seeing the downfall of our enemies, man. We're also going to see whether the elect or when we are that number, get to see Babylon the Great be destroyed, man. All right, on the chariot. So that's a thing that our forefathers wish they desired to see, man.
I got scripture. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, "The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive."
Oh, that's the one.
To bring him down to the grave and bring him up.
That's right.
The Lord Yahweh maketh poor and make him rich. He bring him low and lift him up. See, so the Lord, is in control.
That's right.
Like that's why we always say, the movie is already written. We just acting out. The different scenes, man. Which we got the blueprint, and when you skip all the way to the end of it, it says what that Israel's gonna get the victory. So we got the Lord gave us the blueprint, and all He wants us to do is just act out the scenes. All right. So that's why you really can't get too emotional, or in your feelings when certain things happen in the truth, because it's already written that it's gonna happen.
This whole life is
That's what the whole thing is a movie, man. The whole thing is a skit.
I know, the blessing really between Jacob and Esau that was given to him. But Genesis 27 and verse 40, it says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live." The blessing that Isaac is giving unto Esau. But it also says, and shall serve thy brother. So ultimately, Esau's going to serve us, man. That's that transition of power. All right, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right?
He's going to take over.
Yeah.
At one time, Jake had everybody.
That's right.
It was long lived, but we did. We had everybody supposed to do. And that was just a taste. Hey, the brother Yaakov, he was going into all the different kingdoms. The Medo-Persian Empire, Greece, the Romans. All of these places was on a level at one time, man. All right, but the Lord brought him down. That's the only thing that He want to do it to America, man.
That's right.
All right.
Done.
I don't think for a second that He want to do it.
Well, He's going to do it.
Well, He's
Right.
doing it. Like I said, He's doing it. The Lord is. Bro, this place is falling apart by the seams, man.
Right.
Like seriously, you go to malls now, they empty. Parking lots are empty. Yeah. Restaurants are closing down. Like this place that I used to go to last year and the year before to buy my plants that I planted every year, they closed. Bro, this place is falling apart by the seams, man. And that's why there's a lot of stuff going on about UN troops and all that stuff coming into America. And they're also having, I think Biden is trying to drive something for mandatory drive if you're age 18 to 35.
Because they trying to get those who they forced to retire when the Crown Royal Law came around. All right, in 2019, they trying to bring them back. Those that retired, so they trying to bring them back in the military, man.
All right, and all this is for what? they know what's coming. They know what's coming. They know what's coming. It's like Esau, he do what he do, but really he know what's going on.
As the scripture said, are you prepared for the battle?
Yeah.
Are you that prepared for the battle, man? So Esau, he's making his moves, but like the brothers is going into, it's being directed by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua,
All right, this Romans 9 in verse 24. Even us, whom he has called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people in all beloved. Salaki, this Romans chapter 9 and verse 20. Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High?
See, because what we see going on with Esau doing what he do is he's saying, see, like all these actions that Esau does is really him talking back to the Most High at the end of the day. Like, see, I can do it. See, you chose the wrong guy. I can rule. You know what you mean, Jake? Look what your precious Jake. Well, look where he at. Look where I am. And bro, but don't you understand? Like, this is the part that the Lord blinded you with. The Lord, first of all, the Lord is balanced. And I went into this before. In order for there to be an everlasting kingdom, there had to be a kingdom that failed. That wasn't everlasting.
Damn, right.
He deals in duality.
That's the other. That's good. That's a good
So think about it. Yahweh's kingdom was set up first. This would have never happened.
Wow, that's
because it
good.
would have already been an everlasting kingdom.
Yeah.
See? Right. So you got to really think about it. When you think about it through the Spirit, you say, oh, well, Esau had to have his kingdom first, because if this is going to be a kingdom to perish, and the Lord lives with, he deals with balance and duality, he gave everybody their shot. He gave every nation their shot to rule before he lit us up.
That's fire, dude.
I think
That's good. That's really
point out
good.
that Sirach 10 said to set up one that's profitable.
Yeah.
Because all these other nations were really unprofitable. Even though they bought for certain new things to the earth, so to speak, it was still unprofitable. Even mainly for Israel, because they had us in captivity. So when those roles are reversed, sort to what's that, Deuteronomy 30 chapter 7 verse, going to the curse is being put on them. And we're going to show these nations how you should really supposed to rule, right? Because it's going to be under the righteousness of Yahweh and Yahushua. That's the main, the key component is being righteous.
That's the image of the Lord.
That's the image of the Lord.
Yeah, that's the image that Esau don't want. He wants his own image.
Exactly.
And what the
image is consistent.
And what the scripture say and look at how the Lord, how he said. Can you just pull that precept up for me?
Proverbs
where it says,
29.
Proverbs
29 and 2.
29 and 2. Because look how the Lord says. It says, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous bear authority, the people rejoice.
That's right.
Why did he say it in that order? Because the wicked are in rulership first. Then he got to the part where the righteous made the people rejoice. That ain't coming until later.
Hey, Slacky, bro. Because the scripture say in the Apocrypha that the Lord kept the wicked-hearted man. So the Lord had to keep, the Lord had to let us know the good and the evil in order to be God.
It stems from Adam,
Yeah.
Eve,
Exactly.
So the Lord was still dealing with what happened from the beginning. That's it. Yeah, because the wicked heart, we had wicked kings. We
Yeah.
had wicked kings in Israel.
Yeah.
The Lord did away with that. And then now we're going through the different prophecies. Esau is that.
Then we had King Solomon.
Yep.
So the Lord is just grooming us. He's just grooming us to be those joint heirs with Yahweh. It was grooming the elect.
Continuing on Romans 9, all right, shall the thing born say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Why you make me like this, man? The Lord already said, man, how you gonna reply? I made you, so how you gonna reply against me?
Right.
The one that made you. I made you for a specific purpose. It's like making a wrench. You got a 13-inch wrench, jealous because you can't get on a 12-inch socket. You mad. You're like, hey man, but bro, I made you to fit a 13-inch bolt, man.
Right.
So how you mad that you can't fit a 12-inch bolt? I made you for this purpose.
Continuing on, verse 21, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Yes, sir. I want to make this one that nice shiny thing, and I want to make this one something I can smash. I got this. I just want to, throw this around. I got the power to do it. I'm the potter.
Right. And that's why the Spirit, when you read the book of Job, and the Lord sent Satan to Job because he knew that Job wouldn't do it. Even when Job's wife, cursed the Most High and died.
Right.
Job didn't do that, because the Lord knew that the type of spirit that Job had, and that he would be able to go through the things that he was about to put him through.
That's right.
So Job knew his lot.
He
like,
did.
Like the officer saying, man.
And then just to add to what he just said, what did Job say to his wife in reply? Shall we not accept good from the Lord and not accept evil?
Right.
So he already knew the duality and the balance that the Lord deals with. He said, okay, well, he gave me this. Well, it's time for him to jack me up right now.
Yeah.
And if you think about the mindset of Job, he said, though he slay me, I will trust him.
Yeah.
Like, that takes some hell of a faith, because you already know, all right, well, the Lord doing this for a reason because I'm the clay.
Yes.
I'm the clay. He's doing this for something. So, but the Lord gave us a brain, he gave us eyes, he gave us a mouth, but he gave us these things to learn how to control those things for their proper usage and understanding what his purpose is, not our own, because we were not, we were not your own.
Yeah.
So we belong to the Lord.
Yeah.
The whole nation of Israel belongs to the Lord.
Yep. That's it.
Because ultimately in the kingdom, the whole nation is going to be brought back.
Hey, that's Slovakia, bro. No, but I was watching that movie Upgrade earlier today.
Yeah, bro. That movie.
And bros, remember, once he signed, after they put that seal in him, and he signed it. He signed his name after they were finished, like, yeah, this is what I want. And when you fast forward to the end, he was trying to basically break out of that spirit, that chip out of him, but the seal took over. It basically took over his whole life. He couldn't escape that demon, basically. See, so that's the same thing with us, man. That's why when we go to Revelation 13 chapter, it talks about that image. See, so Esau only doesn't want you to worship the image, he wants to put it in you as well, man. Right. See, but us having the spirit to understand that, we're gonna resist it.
That's right.
See?
Yeah.
So want to be gone.
Yeah. And that's what I was listening to a brother on TikTok earlier today, and he was talking about the camps just briefly. We're going to touch on it. How just to set a preface, it was two TikToks. One, I was watching some heathens, and they were talking about crypto and how everything was going digital, how it's eerily similar in Revelation 13. So I'm sitting there watching this video, and I'm like, how in the hell these heathens know this?
Right.
But y'all don't know this. This is on the Joe Rogan show. Joe Rogan was talking about this. That's the show that it was. It's like, how do y'all know this? But y'all not teaching this. You see? So yeah, Esau want to put that system, that thing in you, and a lot of these other camps are in on it. In my opinion, I don't know, but it's in my opinion because it's blatantly obvious. There's no way that you can't see that we're going into a digital system. There's no way. Like, the dollar's crashing, right? We have more and more, like, when you go into grocery stores, right? All them little self-checkouts now say don't accept cash. The Federal Reserve is shrinking the cash pool. I don't know if y'all know, but they're shredding the cash in circulation right now. So it really takes somebody to either be willfully ignorant or just to turn a blind eye. Well, that's basically the same thing. Be willfully ignorant or just ignorant at all, to just not be blinded. But I believe some of them ain't blinded. They know they just cut it off because this is blatantly.
Makes sense.
It's just, And then you got people advertising it now. Like this one commercial that I saw where she said, I got it on my nightstand. I can stand in my door. And they're just prefacing it off of convenience, right?
Right.
So then now when they start bringing in that UB, that universal basic income, and they say, okay, in order for you to get your stipend, right, you know, you got to have this. You know, because that's, I mean, when they completely crash the system, everything is going to go digital. How you eat? They're going to allow chaos to ensue, so you're going to suffer a little bit first. You know, and then they're going to present it like, okay, now this. You're going to
Everything. Social Security benefits, child support. Not child, sorry about that, but
Touch it too.
that too, but WIC. WIC and
Everything.
EBT and shit.
I was thinking about food stamps. All the government
All of it,
assistance that's
right.
going to be reliant, because right now it's what you got to have the father or the child needs to be on child support. But the next step of requirement is going to be you got to have that CHIP, man.
Of course.
You
Of
know,
course.
so it's gonna, for you to receive any type of benefits from the government, you gotta have that CHIP. And then Apostle Tahar did he did a funny scenario with a woman, like, you know, your woman gets the CHIP, but he was like, you come home and she come back with groceries. I mean, she come home back with groceries. Where'd you get those groceries from? Oh, somebody bought it for me. Nah, let me see your wrist. She got that bump on it. Let me see your wrist.
Hey, that's gonna be a thing. Hey, scenario, man, that's gonna be like that.
Right.
You get a lot of E's, a lot of Jake's.
There was a TikTok like that. Like the sister got her hand implanted, and her husband was pissed off.
Like, why would you do that? You know?
Romans 9 and verse 22. And what if the Most High, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known?
That's how he,
Right.
like, as the brothers been going into it, how he hardened Pharaoh's heart and lifted Pharaoh up. You know, he does this. He'll lift you up just to tear you down. That's crazy right there, right? That's like, and he said all the time, like he said it in Malachi, they shall build, not the rest. I'm gonna lift y'all up. Because first and foremost, you gotta think about, like, I'm letting y'all build. If I have the power to throw down, I have the power to stop y'all from building in the first place. You know? So I'm letting y'all build. Just so y'all can feel good about y'all. That's an emotional slap to the face. You know, just so y'all can feel a little good about yourself. You know how you might get a chick, you might take her out to dinner, you know, maybe not, you know, any of us, but just a scenario, you get a chick, take her out to dinner, she look nice, she look good, you know, y'all have a good time, you take her home, smash her, you'll never talk to her again after that. She thought that you loved her and her whole world is crushed. You know? Same deal, like the scriptures say that Esau, you know, because he was quiet, because the Lord was quiet, that he thought that he was like one of them. You know, like he should reprove you and set them in order right in front of our eyes, and that's what he's doing. He's going to reprove Esau. You know, just because you thought that the Lord had said nothing for all of these years. The Lord is long suffering, he's patient. You know, and not to mention, fill it up. See, if you fill up a tab that to where you can never recover from, this is a tab that you ain't gonna never recover. Like, you ain't never coming. Like, nobody ain't gonna ever step foot on this land no more. This is gonna be desert and wilderness creatures living. You know? This is gonna be a spot on the earth that's gonna be like, yeah, you remember that?
You're gonna be able to see it from the sky.
Yeah, you remember what happened with them?
Space.
You know? And y'all don't want to do that, do y'all? Y'all remember with them, they thought that the Most High was playing a game just because it took them 600-700 years to make a move.
Nothing. Go ahead, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
It's crazy because, I got away with it. This is exactly why you get those repeat offenders. Because you got away with it once. I got away with it once. I mean, I can do it again. I got away with it again, I'm gonna keep doing it again. Or I got away with it again, I do it again, and that one day you get caught. And I realized the neighbors piling up evidence against you for the first time.
From the very first one.
You know? Yeah, so we got you here doing it. And you like, so now they're trying to give you 20, 30 years. You know? And you're like, damn, that's more than I've been alive. You know? And I got to spend that time in there. That's more than I've been alive. That's the Lord doing. Then you build up that tab, and boy, oh boy, you got a tab. I'm telling you, you got a tab. And you think just because the Lord ain't exercised judgment quickly upon you, that you can continue to do those things that you've been doing. Like you've done so much to where the Lord cannot pay attention to. You know, not to mention the Lord gives a measure. He gives a measure, a bound. Once you get to that measure, once that measure is filled, that bound is met, and the Lord is going to move. The scriptures talk about how he will not move nor stir until that measure is fulfilled.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that have made the earth drunken.
Yep.
The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
See, so the Lord used Babylon to intoxicate the other nations. Just remember what it says. It said Babylon had been a golden cup in whose hand? The Lord's hand. The Lord used Babylon to, hey, y'all, go ahead, y'all all take a sip of this. Why? For the purpose of fulfilling prophecy. You know? I say from the beginning how it's going to end. That's a writer. I wrote this story. You know? I wrote these scriptures out. This is my story. You know? So, so this is the Lord's movie.
Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take bond for her pain.
You know, I was in the car, and I was doing Lyft last night, and there was two Edomites that they just started talking, and they started asking me questions about America. And I was plainly said, I said, man, America about to crash, man. He was like, you think it's going to happen that soon? I said, yeah. I said, it's about to happen real soon. You think you get another 5-10 years in this place? He said, well, I'm thinking about 2030. I'm like, man, these people really think their kingdom ain't going to never end.
Crazy.
Like, all this shit is happening before your eyes, everywhere, all over the world. The Lord is really showing himself, and you don't think that this place is about to go? So I'm talking to this guy, and I'm actually thinking this, and he's sincere. He's really sincere that, nah, man, you know, and as my guy said, so what do you do for a living? He said, I do construction. I know, he said, I sell heavy-duty equipment, construction equipment. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you're part of the war economy. You know, and I said, you do pretty well? He said, yeah, I do really well, you know. I said, your industry still busy? He said, man, crazy busy. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. But they think just because they're in good case right now, because they're in good case because of what they've established before, what their foreparents had accomplished for them and continue to sustain through this society. But the Lord said, it's going to happen suddenly.
Right.
So when you go into that word suddenly, it's unexpected. You ain't going to be able to watch for this. The only people that can really see it clearly are the men of the Lord.
Yeah, because every other, like, news media, not really telling what's actually going on in the area. So they gonna push forward, the good things. Of course, you got murder, that's everywhere. But as far as the economy, they're not really going to go into that.
Yeah, like the
sorcery. Yeah.
Like the
Did you read that scripture, the grind that should cease?
Yeah,
Bring that out.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey guys, excuse me, I hate to be bearing bad news. I appreciate everything.
How you doing, man? I'll talk to you.
How you doing?
This is Revelation 18 and verse 4. It says, I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
right. Come out of her. The Lord ain't saying come out of her. Like, leave.
Part of this
Saying, stop. Because you can leave America and still be American. I mean, saying you can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the
I
nigga.
got to call down.
Ever heard that phrase before?
Well,
Because you can leave America and you can still do the same wicked stuff you was doing in America.
Yeah, Pokemon.
It's talking about
Yeah,
spiritually, mentally, leave this place. Don't partake in that. Do those things that the Lord commanded us to do. That's my
All right, continuing on. And it says that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have redeemed her iniquity.
Now going back to what I was saying earlier, that tab, like it done reached up so high that now the Lord is paying attention to it.
Like beer and shit.
You know?
But it's all public property. That's the public right there. That's a public
So
utility.
the iniquity is piled up so much, now the Lord's measure is being filled, man. Going back to that said measure, it's being filled. The Lord is filling that measure. Okay? And that's why you're seeing all of these things happening all over the world, because everything is happening. Where he said he's going to come with storms and tempests. Brother, go hold second Ezra 9 for me. The Lord is bringing, you gotta measure the times and see what the Lord is bringing. Go ahead,
I got this. This is
go ahead,
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Right. So the Lord is letting. He's the one that's allowing him to do this, the mystery of iniquity. Eventually, he's going to be taken out of the way. When it goes into holding everything back, see what I'm saying? Like there's a wind of destruction that's coming, that's being held back. Okay? The Lord is going to remove it. And that destruction is what's happening right now. You're starting to see those winds being pulled back. And that's when you see all this chaos happening over there. Like, I think it was Peru or Puerto Rico, they be getting jacked up too. They got hit by a major storm. You got Brazil that's flooding. They talking about their dams are breaking. You got crazy stuff going on in China right now. They seeing all type of crazy stuff in the sky, and it's a lot of things that tornadoes. So the Lord he's removing. See, the thing is the Lord allowed these things to happen. That's why they say he that let it. Now I'm about to take all that away, and I'm about to let this destruction happen. See what I'm saying? Continue on with that. That was it?
That was it.
Yeah. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass.
Right. Part of the signs pass, as we was going into, that the brother had just brought out, he didn't just let it. Because once you start seeing them signs, you start knowing that we're getting close to this destruction that's coming. You know?
Which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
See, the Lord is visiting this place right now. That's why you see, like, nothing ain't the way it was before, not even time. Not even time, not even the days move like they used to.
Right.
You know? Your money ain't as long as it was. You know? Your day-to-day ain't like it was. It seemed like you just don't have enough time in the day to do everything you need to do. Yeah. No matter how hard you try, it seemed like the time is just slipping out your fingers. You know?
Imagine what it feels like when you try to accomplish what you do. So time is slipping. It's time short.
Well, it says short season, so it's like 626. Short season.
And trust me, what's 200 years, 1,000 years to eternity? Forever and ever and ever. Yeah.
It says, therefore, when thou shalt see it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people.
And we seeing all that right now?
Yep.
These are all those prophecies coming to pass. You know, this is the Lord allowing these things to happen because this stuff been going on. We've been seeing uproars of the people, but the volume is starting to get kicked up. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is kicking up the volume, notches, right? And Esau's he knows, so he knows that the people are about to snap. You know? I mean, I know. Yeah, and look, I know if we feeling it, imagine those who don't have the Lord. Imagine those who don't know how to lean on these prophecies and scriptures to bring these things out when they going through things, to use these as the comfort. Imagine that. So think what they're going to be doing when all hell breaks loose, which is closer than what a lot of people think. I mean, I go to the grocery store every day, and regular items that I used to see are just becoming, they are dwindling down. They are trying their best to make, everything seem like it's still moving like it was. And it's all a facade.
Right, yeah.
It's all a facade. Like, you can't even find, I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, man, in 2019, 2020, 2020, 2018, I was getting jobs like crazy. Like I was managing here. I would leave here. People was fighting over me like, oh, you trying to work? Okay, we'll pay you this. And I'm sitting there like, now, what happened? I got the same qualifications, even better qualifications now. Y'all say y'all need people.
All right.
Why y'all not hiring like y'all say y'all are? Because it's all a sham. It's just to keep the average person in that spirit of hope so they can keep on trying it so they can snap. So they won't snap. But all that's gonna run out because everybody gonna start figuring this out. Wait a minute, y'all lying.
What's frogs and hot water?
Right.
Right.
The boiling frogs. You guys know about that?
Yeah.
So you take a frog and you ain't got it. You take a frog and put it in hot water, and you raise the heat up slowly. The frog doesn't recognize it's getting hotter.
Okay.
That the water is getting hotter, and so next thing you know, the frog is boiling, it's cooking. But that's pretty much the same thing. When you turn up that heat slowly, like the brother mentioned, the price is going up and the time's getting harder. People are the same way. Esau keep turning the heat up. It gets harder and harder and harder. Slowly, you not recognize, because if shit happened overnight, if meat just went from whatever, $5 to $20 overnight, you'd just be like,
right.
But see, the prices are
gradually.
The prices are climbing up slowly and slowly. It's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Next thing you know, this shit's boiling.
Too late, yeah.
and it's too late. When it's boiling, it's too late to get out the pot.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what Esau's doing.
Right.
You already know if you just do if you just take a frog and just throw him in hot water, he's gonna jump out.
Right, exactly.
It's gonna be a shock to him.
It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the beginning. That the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
So we at the end. We're at the end. That's why you've seen all this stuff. America has passed its prime. They can't even reproduce as much as they need to. You got countries begging certain demographics of men to come to their country to help them reproduce. Like the ones that was looked at as the scoundrels and the dogs. Now, but the Lord said He's gonna give us praise and fame in the earth, because eventually everybody's gonna start to say, "Oh no, He was the one." That's already happening right now. It's gonna. They ain't gonna be able to do both. They ain't gonna be able to sit there and hate us and hate them. They're gonna have to pick one.
God, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Yeah, so that goes into jobs. Now the scriptures talk about there's not going to be any jobs out here.
That's right.
So how is it far-fetched me saying that
it's not
find a job?
Right.
Because the majority of these jobs that uphold America, that people tend to want to gravitate towards and people run to, are goods and services. Like goods and services, those are the first thing to go out. When war is on the cusp, goods and services go out of the window. The only thing that matters is bread, food, bread, shelter, and water. That's all that matters. So if you ain't providing these things during those times, you fucked. So anything that's ran by women outside of the you do any office job,
that's a good point, bro.
Manager, any of that type of shit, you do. You better off being a plumber than that, or HVAC tech, or carpenter. Something of tangible use.
Shit that matter. Shit that matter.
Like the brother was going into that value of men. Like that's gonna be the value in it. It won't be these goods and services that Esau prop you up and say this is the ideal man to be.
That's right.
Yeah, none of that gonna be.
Good point, bro.
You ain't gonna be somebody that knows something, that knows how to do something. You ain't gonna have no value.
Right, baby.
Well, that's lining up with that Joel. They should turn their pruning hooks into a sword. Esau putting all his budget money that's really can help out the economy to turn it back right. They put it into the war all because of scripture.
Yeah, that's what they do. Find war with, right?
But at the same time, they elected us.
At the same time. That's why we're consistent. You know, when we come out here to the Southwest and byways, because we want to put on that we're going to be elected.
And those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Yeah, you know, I was telling somebody the other day, so man, y'all think the retail apocalypse stopped? Y'all thought the retail apocalypse stopped?
Oh, well, you got
Red Lobster.
Yeah, Red Lobster.
Everything.
Steak and Shake.
Everything.
I was just looking at it.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
All
to-
kinds.
Applebee's. It's not. Yeah, it's
Applebee's.
too. Yeah, it's Applebee's.
Buffalo
Not
Wild
Chili's.
Wings.
Buffalo, yeah, I saw that.
Everything.
Wild Wings, yeah.
Everything.
And McDonald's gonna be one of the last ones standing.
They closed the 600 stores.
Yeah, they did.
What?
Yeah, they good. Those giveaway stores.
So yeah, and look, guess who was talking about this 10, 20, 30 years before it even happened?
Right, right,
You know, 40 years before it happened.
right.
Now it's happening. Right before your eyes. You're literally watching live action prophecy.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Being
right.
unfolded right before your eyes. And, you know, that little thing is omitted. The retail apocalypse never stopped. So if look, everything is reciprocal in society. One thing has to feed into another, to feed into another, to feed into another. So if these industries go down, they can't feed into these industries. If these industries go down, they can't feed into those industries. So the whole system starts to fall off. You know? That's why it's so difficult to find employment. And the only cities that really have decent employment are those cities that haven't that still have a strong economy. But you go outside to other places, it's a lot worse.
That's true.
It's true.
The only thing holding up for these retail companies is holidays.
Right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
That's where they make the bulk of their money. And
Fourth quarter.
Other than that,
Yeah.
they through.
Verse 4, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
Nobody gonna be coming outside no more. That's gonna go into 2nd Ezra's 15th chapter.
Yep.
You know? You're gonna be scared to go outside.
Yeah, bro.
Like you walk outside, you might get taken, you might get eaten,
Right.
you might get raped. I mean, there's so many things that can happen to you just by leaving your house.
Right,
You
man.
literally gonna have to make your house look like it's abandoned, like it ain't nobody in there.
Right, yeah.
You know? Because people are gonna be like that Book of Eli. Remember that part when he went to those people's house and they was literally trying to eat?
Yeah.
That's gonna literally be a thing. It ain't gonna be no food out there. They're gonna be trying to trap you.
Trap you to eat you up.
That's why the scripture says, like, those that fall to the foundation of his blood, because it's gonna be Jason, it's gonna be out there living in the wilderness. It's gonna be those that they whole generation that come there. You watch them, man. They're gonna drink your blood, man. That's what that's gonna go into. It ain't gonna be no food out there. All the animals out in the wild right now are running inland because it's shit. Esau doing something out there displacing them that it ain't gonna be no wildlife out there for Jacob to just go out there and eat on that. They gonna eat on each other that's going out there to allow those animals.
You said, I'm add on.
That's
just
crazy.
Add on
Yeah.
Brother, the Edomites, y'all gonna starve to death too.
Yep.
A lot of them held up in the woods. Y'all ain't gonna fucking make it, bro. Y'all gonna starve to death.
Don't think that the Lord ain't got a plan for y'all preppers.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Continuing on, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird.
Oh man. Jumping up like it's something out there for you. Remember in the good old days?
And all the daughters of losers shall be brought low.
Yeah, you see that right now. What's happening in the music industry right now?
Just like the movie.
Bro.
Like it's just being dismantled. All of the notoriety that was once had with these entertainers, it's like one after another. It's like
Right.
now you got this thing right now where they're boycotting all of the entertainers.
Yeah, celebrity blocking.
Celebrity block.
Talked about that last week or a couple weeks ago.
So it's like, yeah, because prophecy.
That's right, baby.
That's why.
Let's talk about that.
Prophecy. That's why. You know, these things are happening. Real-time prophecy happening for your live action. Live action. You're actually seeing the things that everybody else wanted to see. We're living what the prophets wanted to see. We're living it.
That's right.
You know? How exciting is it to be alive when you're seeing the things that you were saying were going to happen right before your eyes?
Verse 5. Also, and they shall be afraid of that which is high, and the fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a garden.
That out another wrap up. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and close camp, giving all praise, glory, and honor to double honors to our elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And we pray y'all brothers to edifying camp. Shalom. Shalom.